moment. I'll have you know that I have a towering personality. I'm so sorry for being late. It took me like an hour and a half to get here. I apologize.
That is okay.
Please forgive me.
Why don't we just go? I have a little bit of Biggest Loser business to take care of, and then we're gonna get right into audience questions. We can like cut right to it. Okay, you all know what I'm gonna ask, right? What the hell?
I'm gonna tell you that I think you should call the show's producers and have that conversation with them.
I've been calling them all week and they won't return my phone call.
Yeah, it's a personal thing between them and him, and
exactly.
you might not be wrong about that. There's nothing like a bruised ego on a gold medal winning Olympian, so you may not be wrong about that.
Okay, let me just get one other question and then we'll start taking questions from the audience. Why are you leaving Biggest Loser? Tell us why. A lot of people have asked about that. Why are you deciding to leave?
Why am I deciding to leave? Okay, well, it's been 7 years, 11 seasons, and I obviously am so grateful for everything that the show has given me, the ability to sit here with you and talk with you guys, but now, clearly I want to start a family. That's important to me personally, but professionally, thank you. Professionally, when I look at this platform I've been given, I'm really craving a direct relationship with people. So I can have conversations that are, where we can trade information, that are inspiring, that are uplifting, that are entertaining, and primetime just isn't the right format for that. Obviously, in a perfect world, it will be a daytime format. That's really where I see being able to take this message to the next level.
Are we talking daytime talk show?
We might be. Let's just wait. It's not done. We'll see. It's very my gosh, getting that kind of thing from A to B is quite a challenge. There are many steps. So let's just say that I'm into it. Hopefully, I'll have something to tell you in the not too distant future. We'll see.
Okay.
So that's the goal. That's what I've always wanted to do. So we'll see.
Tell us a little bit about the book, because that coincides with your departure from the show.
Yes,
there's a lot of self-help books out there.
Yes.
Why you? Why now? Why this one?
Okay. Well, the interesting thing about Unlimited is that it's really the method behind the madness, so to speak. It's everything that you don't get to see on The Biggest Loser. It's never been about crunches. It's never been about fitness. It's always been about utilizing fitness as one tool to help you live a happier and healthier life. Fitness is just something that I can use quickly to redefine somebody's self-image. But it's always been about the deeper work. It's always been about being healthier and being happier in your relationships, in your career, with your physical health, being able to live your dreams, because I think your dreams are your destiny. Why this book? I think I've read every self-help book from The Secret to How to Win Friends and Influence People to Who Moved My Cheese. I've read them all. I'm a junkie, literally. And while I love them so much, I find that in some cases, they're one small piece of a puzzle. Like this book teaches you about communication, and this book teaches you about releasing worry and fear, and this book, they deal with one small microcosm, but the reality is that if you don't have all the pieces of the puzzle and a way to synergize those pieces of the puzzle, then you really don't have a fully functioning system. You don't truly have a skill set that's going to help you get from A to B, and that's what's missing, because the reality is that you can do anything you want. Everyone can. Everyone can be happy and healthy in any way that they choose to. That's how you're meant to live. You're meant to live happily. We shouldn't be just surviving. We should be thriving. We should be taking life to its apex. And the problem is that many people just don't recognize they're deserving and don't have the tools. So that's why this book, that's why now, and of course the parallel is that for me, I started to feel a little bit stagnant and got a little bit comfortable, and I want to get uncomfortable now, and I want to make myself vulnerable, and I want to challenge myself to grow and do more and be more.
You talk in this book about trying to get people to get out of their own way, trying to get them to really get them. One of the things that you seem to embrace is that we need to get over this idea that we're never going to be afraid, that we solve the problem once and then it's over, but that it's really about kind of embracing the fear and doing it anyway.
I love that quote. I actually stole that from The Sopranos. Feel the fear and do it anyway. This is my self-help advice to you. I got from like Christopher to Tony. Feel the fear and do it anyway. We're never going to be without fear. Fear is every living creature, from the smallest to the biggest, is going to experience fear. But it's all about your attitude towards fear. And usually with something, in most cases, obviously if you're jumping off of a building, well, that's a stupid stunt. But generally your fear will tell you the area that you need to work on, that you need to move through. It holds a lesson for you. And so how you approach that fear, if you can use it as a source of motivation versus a source of paralysis, it can help you break through to great transformation in your life. But it is then about approaching the thing you're afraid of intelligently. Don't go into it blind. If you were, hypothetically, to jump out of a plane, well, hopefully you would do your homework, you would jump at a place where there's an open field, not a forest, you would get a fully qualified pilot, you would have experts teach you how to pack your chute, you would prepare so that when you took that leap, you were set up for success. And so many of us don't have the steps, the education that sets you up for success, so you're afraid, you take a chance, you have a setback, and then it's like, oh, I knew it, I knew I couldn't do it, I'm a failure. Which is, again, another whole aspect of changing your attitude, looking at failure as an entry point for learning and an integral part of success. But fear is just something that you have to embrace and approach with the right attitude and the right skill set.
All right, let's get to it. We've got lots of questions,
okay.
Right? Anna?
You can stand up. Hi, I saw you Thursday on the talk.
Oh.
But I have a question. Losing baby weight after a C-section, what do you recommend?
Losing baby weight after a C-section. Well, the first thing you have to do is talk to your doctor, obviously, because with a C-section, your doctor is going to want to make sure. It depends. There's several different kinds of C-sections. They can cut the muscles, they can separate the muscles. So before you jump into any fitness regimen, talk to your doctor, make sure that you're approved first with the types of exercise you want to do. I've always loved yoga and mat Pilates to rehabilitate the core after a C-section. And then when it comes to weight loss, I've said this a million times, it doesn't matter if it's baby weight, it doesn't matter if it's the freshman 15, weight is weight. If you want to lose fat, you eat less, you move more. But I like those core-based training modalities to help rehabilitate the body after that procedure.
Hi.
Hi.
How about for women that are menopausal, postmenopausal? I mean, I'm doing a Biggest Loser challenge at work with some younger kids, and they're killing me, and I'm working out, getting up at 5 in the morning. And the second question, how's Shay?
How's Shay? Okay, I'll answer your first question. I really believe that the menopausal thing is kind of a lie. I've experienced, not that what you're going through, I know, but hold on, hear me out. I had a woman named Helen on season, oh my God.
7.
Was it? Thank you. Apparently it was season 7. I had a woman named Helen on season 7 who was in her late 50s. In the same season, I had a gentleman named Jerry who was in his late 60s. Jerry won the at-home prize, and Helen had the highest percentage of weight loss, at least up until all the way through season 7, of any contestant I'd ever had. The reality is that hormone balance gets attacked as we age, not necessarily because it's like, oh, I'm older and I'm in my decline. I truly believe, and I work with many endocrinologists, that it's the cumulative effect of a toxic world on our bodies, of eating garbage food, of drinking water that's, polluted, breathing crappy air, everything's in plastic, our body is constantly under assault. So when it comes to aging, you could be Jack LaLanne, you could be Jane Fonda, you could be Demi Moore, you could be Madonna, and I throw that out to you because, Jack LaLanne was swimming from Alcatraz to San Francisco in his 70s. There's no excuse, it's just about lifestyle, and it comes back to eating. I'm sorry to say this because I appreciate that it seems wildly elitist and inaccessible. The reality is, if you can go organic whenever you can. I always offer a host of tips, whether it's my website or Facebook or on my podcasts, all for free, to learn how to eat healthier in a more cost-effective way. It makes a big difference on your metabolism and your overall health. I promise you, I'm not exaggerating. In addition, small little group of organic people over there. Party of one. Sorry. Oh, no. So, and of course, exercise, sleep. I don't know if you're on hormone replacement therapy. Okay. Get more sleep, eat as cleanly as possible, exercise as hard as you can, and give your body a chance. Just be patient. Because I'm telling you, I've worked with people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s when I owned a sports medicine facility, and they are perfectly capable of reclaiming their health, getting their body back in shape. It just give your body a chance to sort of rehabilitate a little bit.
And keep going. Sounds like you're
Thank
doing
you.
great so far.
Yeah, a little trying to be positive. Look at you, so sweet.
I read the book.
Aww. Shay,
Shay.
she is doing fantastic. She's I think 250 pounds down. She lives in California. She was the contestant of season 8. One of my all-time favorites. I write a lot about Shay actually in this book, and her story is in there from start to finish. And in there, I think she's up to 300 pounds lost, 250 to 300. She's
Maybe we
doing
can
great.
take just a minute to talk about that for people who may haven't read the book, because her story, you feel like if Shay can do what she has done,
Anyone can do
anyone
anything.
can do anything.
That's one of the great things about Biggest Loser is a lot of times when we watch these stories unfold, we emotionally go on these journeys with the contestants, and in a way, you go through the ups, you go through the downs, and you sort of symbiotically or you experience everything. You have a catharsis with the contestant. And Shay was a woman whose mother was a heroin addict. Who'd been, you don't even want to know, there's kids in the audience, we don't need to get into it. She had a very, very rough childhood upbringing, and she came to The Biggest Loser at 500 pounds. And subsequently, through that process at The Biggest Loser, yes, transformed her body, but also was able to transform her heart and her head, and brought meaning to her childhood, and was able to find forgiveness, which was not an easy thing to do, for her mom and the things that she'd been through, and forgive herself for thinking, why wasn't I enough to save her? Why wasn't I enough for her to stop doing drugs? Why wasn't I enough for her to love me? And it was a rough 6-month process that she still works through, and we still occasionally will check in with one another and see how she's doing. This evolution, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly growing.